Hi everybody, welcome to the first video from the Breakup Bakery. I thought today would be a great day to do it because Valentine's Day is kind of not great for a lot of people. These are my dogs, Watson and Happy, sorry. I'm wearing my most obnoxious color combination, my I Love Lucy apron with red, just to go with the theme for Valentine's Day. But I also have these beautiful dead roses from Christmas to kind of emphasize what a dark sense of humor I have. Because as I said, this is kind of a rough holiday for a lot of people in the heartbroken community. And I myself, my first love, his birthday was Valentine's Day. And then the guy that I dated after that, that is the reason this bakery exists, that destroyed my heart and put it in a little food processor. His birthday was February 15th. So it's kind of a rough week for me in particular, usually. And a few years ago at work, our new general manager had just started, and his birthday is February 15th as well. And he doesn't really like cake, which is kind of a challenge for me because I do cake and cookies and brownies mostly. And he said he really liked fruit tarts. I'd never made one, so I did like a classic graham cracker crust that you would traditionally do for a cheesecake, and just a sweet cream cheese filling and some fruit on top, and everybody loved it. And then last year I did a pastry cream with the graham cracker crust, and it went so quickly that he almost didn't get any of his own birthday dessert. So this year I'm making two. I'm gonna do a more traditional one with berries, and then I'm making sort of a tropical fruit inspired one. And what I'm doing right now is just putting this cold cubed butter into a food processor to get the crust set up. My oven is already baking at 375 or preheating. Clearly my brain is not with it today. And I apologize again for my dogs. It's their breakfast time and they're grumpy. And I'd like to do some live videos in the future. My time frame today doesn't really allow for that. So I may kind of bust through a few things here. For this crust, I believe it's 4 ounces of butter, just a full stick here, and 2 tablespoons of sour cream. I'm using light sour cream because I got full fat cream cheese, so you know, the crust may be a little less sticky, but I don't like to scrimp on the cream cheese. So, actually I'm going to do my sugar first, so the sour cream doesn't stick in there. You also need 2 tablespoons of sugar. And I gotta be honest with y'all, I'm not super great at measuring. I know that's the big thing about baking. You're supposed to measure really carefully. And yeah, I don't do that. So however things turn out, they turn out. Second, I'm going to get my dog settled so that you can actually hear the rest of this video. So basically, I'm going to put all this stuff into the food processor and just pulse it until it looks crust-like, and then I'm going to bake it for about 15 minutes. And you need it's on par with the frustration of this holiday. You need a cup and a 1/4 cup of flour. And I never use my food processor for like anything except pie crust. So you want your crust crumbs to essentially look like cornmeal. And I think I'm kind of rushing the process a little bit today as I said, I'm in a little more of a hurry than I'd like to be. But the beauty is you can kind of use your hands just like you would with dough. And you're just gonna press it. I got my little spatula out. You're just gonna press it into this pan so that it covers the whole pan. And I'm going to repeat this whole thing since I'm making 2 today. And you want to make sure your butter is cold as well. That's very important, because otherwise, if your butter is melty at all, it will change the entire texture. It'll still work, it just won't, it'll have a different texture as a crust. And it looks like I made a lot. I think the recipe is for a more traditional tart pan, and these are a little smaller. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna get in there with my hands. There's nothing wrong with that as long as your hands are clean, which mine are. You should always wash your hands before you start, especially in my case if you have animals running around. So my pie crust is done, or my tart crust, nice and gold on the edges. And I went ahead and made my filling while that was in the oven. So the filling is just 1 1/4 cups of heavy cream, and you mix that for a couple minutes just to smoothen it out. And smoothen, that's not a word, smooth it out. Then you're gonna add 3 tablespoons of sugar and a teaspoon of vanilla. You can add more if you like a little more vanilla flavor. And it calls for 6 ounces of cream cheese. As I said, I'm a big cream cheese person, so I went with 8 ounces. It makes it a little smoother and just a little thicker. So I like a thick, creamy filling on a fruit tart, so I'll really soak up all of that berry juice. And time permitting, we'll do a glaze. We'll see how I do. Sometimes I get a little lost in the decoration process. I'm doing the berry one first. So I'm just gonna use about half of this filling, because I gotta have some for my tropical tart too. Doesn't have to be perfect. You're gonna cover it all up with fruit anyway. And I pre-sliced some of these beautiful fresh strawberries that I got last night, and tasted them. They're not sour or anything. They're awesome. And the best part of a fruit tart really is all the leftover fruit that I get to eat for breakfast tomorrow. Or hey, why not as a snack tonight when I'm drinking my Schmalentines Day wine with my friend Sarah. So I don't really have a preset concept of what I want it to look like. I'm a very symmetrical person with a little bit of OCD tendencies. Well, maybe not OCD. We'll call it anal retentiveness. So I'm just using some raspberries now to kind of go back in. Normally I would have bought blackberries as well, but I spaced when I was at the store last night. So this one's going to be a little less colorful than the tropical one. It's just going to be a lot of red. A lot of red and some blue. And I'm having horrific allergies all of a sudden. I don't know what that's about. Maybe I'm allergic to these dead flowers. Or maybe I'm just allergic to Valentine's Day. Both possible. I got these awesome huge blueberries to kind of fill in the gaps as well, because I don't like a ton of space, you know. The whole point of a fruit tart is fruit. So you want to really make the best of all of that space that you have, especially in this case where I'm using a smaller pan than what you would traditionally have for a fruit tart. So I think I'm going to do another layer of strawberries just kind of like layered over each other so that you can really get some in there. Ooh, that one's thick. And that'll really leave a little space for some blueberries in the center. A lot of people kind of just pile it on, so I might do that. Just make a little pile of blueberries. And then go back in. You know, some people want to tell you less is more, but with the fruit tart, I don't think so. I think more is delicious in this case. But what do I know? All right, maybe one more layer of raspberries in the middle just to cover up the strawberries a little bit, so you really get like a nice big bite of fruit in the center. And the glaze would kind of hold this all together. So I don't know if you can see it. Let me do like an over aerial view. There you go. There's the berry tart. Okay, I'm probably gonna do this tropical one quickly because I'm gonna get some hate on this. I can't stand bananas. Like the smell of it in my face right now is making me want to gag. And I have to laugh because I got a pretty decent sized banana at the store and just gave some of the leftovers to my dog and he won't touch it. It's just sitting on my floor over there. So if there was any doubt that he was my dog, that took care of it. So I'm doing pineapple, and this one will be a little more colorful because I have pineapple, kiwi, mango, and banana. And I think I'm gonna have time to glaze, which will be perfect because this one in particular will really benefit from a glaze, just to really get that sweet flavor in there. I love kiwi, you guys, and I am making a weird discovery today that a lot of tropical fruits are very slimy in texture. I'm not sure why that is, but they're all pretty slimy. It's a little creepy, actually. So yeah, I'm not a huge mango fan either. I'll eat it, but banana is something that I just can't get behind. Sorry, banana folks. But you know, obviously I'm making this for the benefit of my coworkers today, so I did include banana, knowing full well, oh my gosh, mango is so slippery. I know full well that, you know, I probably just won't eat this one, and I'll eat all the leftover pineapple. Wow. Did you guys know how slippery mango is? It's really kind of disconcerting to me right now. It's like canned peaches or something, and this is all fresh fruit except the pineapple. I didn't have time to bust out my pineapple core today and slice everything by hand. Normally I'm not a big fan of cutting corners when I'm baking something, but you know, for a fruit tart, it's meant to be kind of low maintenance. It's the kind of thing you're supposed to be able to take to like a picnic or something where it's just meant to be easier. Well, hopefully one of my dogs will eat all of this leftover banana because there's so much left. So much. I guess I'll do some more kiwi in the middle. Nice and fresh looking, right? I'll just break up this piece of pineapple to really kind of tie it all together. Because you do want kind of, looks like nachos. I would show you the finished product. I will, but my hands are all sticky.